Hello and welcome. You're watching The Mint. I'm Abhishek Singh. Those of you who clicked on the short explainer and have found their way here, as promised, I am joined by a subject expert, author Ramesh Singh, author of the book Indian Economy for Civil Servants, University Students, and Others. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Singh. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for this session. Thank you, Abhishek.
So first things first, let's just talk about green bonds. This is for, our viewers who probably did not see the short explainer which we released earlier. So what are green bonds, sir?
Yes, basically, green bonds are actually a kind of bond. And as we know, bond is a paper through which we borrow from market. Okay. So green bonds take borrow from market, take loans from market, which are invested in actually those things which are environmentally friendly. Okay. And precisely speaking, green bonds belong to a broader scheme of subject matter that is known across the world as environmental, social governance investing. Okay, the one segment is green bond, borrowing money from market, investing the money in such activities, the activities which do less damage to environment, they are concerned and sensitive to environment and the factor in, you can say, pollution, and widely checking climate from change. Precisely this is what green bonds are.
Right. So an obvious question, an obvious follow-up question, how is it different from a regular government issued bond?
Actually, what happens when you say sovereign green bond, this which government of India is going to, you can say, launch on 25th of January, and second lot will come on 8th of February. So these two tranches, I mean, these two lots of bonds are backed by nation of India, that is sovereign power. Okay. Other bonds, suppose there is normal bond which are issued by government of India, that money can be invested anywhere, but in case of green bond, some specialty is there. It is demarcated. The money will be only invested in environmentally friendly activities. This is the
Right.
basic
So that's the
difference.
only basic distinction between the two.
Yes, basic, only basic.
All right. So the government of India, as the viewers will know, is going to launch the in India's first green bond on 25th of January in two tranches. First one on 25th of January and the other one in February. So I'm quoting from the green bond framework. It mentions, and I quote, as a populous tropical developing country, India faces a bigger challenge in coping with the consequences of climate change than most other countries. Climate change is a global phenomena, but with local consequences. So, do you think it's an effective tool to fund climate positive projects, keeping India's geographical position in mind and the fact that we are more
Yes,
vulnerable to climate change?
naturally, sir, naturally. It is too obvious. Actually India is very emphatically supporting the those policies by which we can check environmental damage and climate from changing, because we are major consumer of energy. Okay, and we are in such a geographical location even the fallouts of environmental change and climate change will damage us more. So we have to take lead. The challenge is this. India has already told that by 2070, India will be net carbon zero economy. Okay. That is a big challenge. Okay. How to do that? So this is beginning. Such kind of policy framework which is being formulated by government of India, they are a kind of beginning and a good job. It is a good job. At one hand, we will be having investable capital. On the other, we won't have a kind of guilt feeling. We are going to damage the environment out there. We will be culprit in making climate change faster. So we are trying to balance our developmental requirements as well as environmental requirements, so that damage of environmental change and environmental concerns can be minimized without compromising our aims of development. Okay.
Right. So, would you say India has been a little late to the green bonds market? Because green bonds have been around for a while, for a little over a decade. So,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
already, and the green bond market is already at $2 trillion plus. So would you say that India has been a little late?
No, I can't say that. You can't say that. Actually, reality is that when green bond was first time issued by World Bank, the one of the first green bond was issued by World Bank. The money was used in India. There is a Rampur hydropower plant that started working in 2014 itself. So in 2008, first green bond was issued by World Bank to raise fund for India, hydropower, okay? Hydropower. So you can't say India is late. Actually, Indian banks have issued green bonds. But to the extent government of India is concerned, backing a sovereign bond, that is a new thing. For the first time, India is going to raise fund at such a scale, around 16,000 crore. 160 billion rupees basically. So in this sense, you can say sovereign government of India looks late. But for India, such bonds have already raised money. Already.
Thankfully. Now, moving on, uh, of course, institutional investors and other big players will be buying these bonds, and these proceeds from this fund will be used to finance green and climate-friendly projects. Do you think, so far as India's goal of reducing its emissions by 2030 is concerned, by 45% by 2030 is concerned, how much of a help are green bond proceeds going to be?
It will be there basically because India has decided that the capex, that is capital in expenditure, which will be done by government of India, the total fund will be given to public sector enterprises. And these public sector enterprises are going to invest this money basically in infrastructure sector. Okay. For example, it might be logistics, it might be transportation, it might be power generation, it might be multiple other areas there. So public sector enterprises are going to use total fund. On the other hand, from investors' point of view, investors will be getting a better avenue. Because in India, regarding importance of green bonds, SEBI has already released its guideline. But investors need to be made aware. Okay, this is one segment where I should put money. That will be more socially responsible investment, environmental friendly investment, and it leads to good governance also. Okay. So the bonds which are being issued, they are of same amount and they will mature in 10 years and 5 years. Interest rates are proposed to be same. Clear? So it is a kind of new avenue for investors also, as well as the creators also. Creators, I mean those who invest money as basically leader in the front line. For example, public sector enterprises. NTPC might use this fund for power generation through solar photovoltaics. It is possible. So both way it is good. It is just a beginning. And as you told, Abhishek, its market is presently assessed by Green Bond Initiative World Bank to be about $2 trillion. Our, you can say, exportation of just 160 billion rupees is not much. It is just beginning. It is believed that now onwards, side by side government of India, many local institutions, state governments, and private sector companies and private sector banks, they will use this tool to raise huge amounts of fund to promote developmental causes and help safe environment also and show up India's face. India is very careful about climate change, environmental pollution. Clear?
Right. And you must have seen the framework which the government has released. Your
Yes, I
remarks
have
on
seen.
that?
My remarks is that it is a small bond proposal, but it is good beginning. It is
Good
good
beginning.
beginning. Yes, government needs pat on the back. It's good thing.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Singh. And we hope to invite you over for, clearing concepts for our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you.